בארץ אשור והנידחים בארץ מצרים. ובאו העובדים בארץ אשור והנידחים בארץ מצרים, והשתחוו לשם בהר הקודש, והשתחוו לשם בהר הקודש, והשתחוו לשם בהר הקודש, והשתחוו לשם בהר הקודש. וירושלים, 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 וירושלים. מקימי, 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 מקימי מעפר דם. מקימי, 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 מקימי מעפר דם. מקימי, מקימי מעפר דם. מקימי, מקימי מעפר דם. מקימי, מקימי מעפר דם. מקימי, מקימי מעפר דם.
So there's a Gemara I want to discuss on Min Zayin and Aleph. Rapporn touched upon this Gemara in his Musar. I think it's an incredibly important Gemara for all of us. You know, leaving yeshiva either temporarily or for long term. Okay. Gedetanya, Shimon Hamsuni, ve'amri la Nechemia Hamsuni, haya dorish kol etin shebetorah. Right, Shimon Hamsuni, and some say it was Nechemia Hamsuni, would darshan all the ets in the Torah. Kevan sheyagia le'et Hashem elokecha tira, pirash. Once he got to the pasuk of et Hashem elokecha tira, he stopped. He didn't darshan it. Amar lo Talmidav, his student said to him, Rebbe, kol etin shedarashta mati alehem. Right, all the ets that you darshaned in the past, if you were just going to stop now, what's going to happen about all of them? Amar lahem, he said to them, Kishem shekibalti skar ala drisha, kach kibalti ala prisha. Right, the same way that I received skar for the way that I darshaned each of them, I received skar for when I stopped. I think this is an incredibly important lesson. A lot of us coming out of yeshiva, we like to think that, you know, like we're on top, you know, we got everything, we have all the answers, we know what to do in every situation. But the same way that when we don't know the answers, if we just say, you know what, I don't know the answers, the same way that I received the scar for giving all the answers and for being able to be confident all the time, so too we get the scar, so too we get a sense of purpose and meaning when we admit that we don't know some things, when we admit that, like everyone likes to say, we know what we know and we know what we don't know. So I think it's really important in us going into summer, when we're going to be mechanech people, we're going to be makar people, you know, when they ask these questions, when we're able to give, you know, thoughtful and purposeful answers, but also just to realize that we don't know everything. I think that's an incredibly important message of this Gemara in general, and of Kedushin. I think this is really important for us to learn. So the end of the Gemara. Tanya. Rabbi Nehorai Omer, Maniach ani kol omanot sheba'olam ve'eni melamed et b'ni ela Torah shetorah. Shekol omanot sheba'olam ein omedet lo ela b'yamei yildato. Right, we learned a brisa. Rabbi Nehorai says, I leave every trade in the world, and I only teach my son Torah, because all the other trades in the world, they only stand for you in the days of your youth. But in the days of your old age, harehu molta barav, you'll lie in famine and hunger. About Torah, the Torah is not this way. Right? It stands for you in the time of your youth, and it gives you chrayas and hope in your old age. What does it say? What does the Torah say about in the days of your youth? In your old age, what does it say?
Okay, we'd like to call up everybody who has a Kedushin or a Ksubasiyim. We have a sefer here for you. Please take your sefer. Come stand behind. Ethan, there's one for you too. Mr. Everyone, please stand behind. Josh? If you don't have a sefer, you sit stand. We apologize if they're not all here.
Zef, guys, come in front.
Okay. Take it away, Josh. Everyone stay up.
Lo nishtemina, l'sek kedusha, lo nishtemina. Lo ba'alma adin, lo ba'alma dasi. You're told for Necha, Nile, and will have to say, Ace or Saha, and the same Olam Azep, say, Manu Olam Abba. Kanim Bar Papa, Rami Bar Papa, Nathum Bar Papa, Bar Papa, Abamari Bar Papa, Rafram Bar Papa, Rafish Bar Papa, Surka Bar Papa, Adar Bar Papa, Daru Bar Papa. Harag Na, the Nile, Enu, Esther, Race or Saha, the Fino with Yosef, Paul Base, Israel, Vignette, Lano, and Nathum, says Enu, says A. Paul Base, Israel, Kulani, Desh, Methabol, Base or Saha. Moivi, Moive, Takmini, Mitosach, Kilam, Hili, B, Tamim, Befukach, Laman Loivosh, Olam Loa, Shap, Bikudak, Ki, Bam, Yasani. Baruch Atah, the Nile, Dinu, Kecha, Amin, 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 Sel, Ed. Odim, Anachnu, Nevanecha, the Nile, Hin, Vilheo, Sin, Shesanta, Halkinum, Yoshi, Samidra, Lo Santa, Halkinum, Yoshi, Karnos. Anu mashkim behem mashkim, anu mashkim l'divrei Torah, behem mashkim l'divrei b'telim, anu amelim behem amelim, anu amelim behem mekavim skar, behem amelim behem mekavim skar, anu ratzin behem ratzin, anu ratzin chai olam haba, behem ratzin l'er shachas, shenemar v'atah lohem toridem, l'er shachas anshe dam mirma lo yachatzu yemeim v'ani atat ba. Yirtzon v'necha Adonai Eloheinu k'shem sha'azatzanu l'sayim b'sachas kiddushin. Ki ta'azreinu la'askil m'sachos svarim. Achreinu l'sayim l'lomod l'lamed lishmu l'lasos l'kayim l'chol divrei samusa v'sach b'yahava. U'zchus kol ha'tanan v'amoraim v'sam nechacham ya'amod li u'zari shalot samu shator mipiv v'ki zari adolam. V'siskayim ki b'hisa alecha tancha osva v'shacha tishmar alecha v'ktim hi tashi chacha. Ki vi yiru yamecha v'yosidu lecha shnos chayim orech yamim v'yimuna u'smola osher v'chavod Adonai u'zamoy kina Adonai v'rachim shalom. Yiskirav shemer rabba manrach asila askadasa l'achim mesel aspan yison l'chaya alma v'yek karta d'yusham l'shkala heichala Begavul me'akar palchana nukra min ara la'asava palchana di shmai la'asar v'yamel kedush v'rechu v'machsei v'yikrei yitzrem karn v'yapir m'shikrei v'chayachon v'yamachon v'chayat v'chol beis rabba v'laiz man kari v'yimru amen Yisbarach v'yishtabach v'yisbarach v'yisbarach v'yisnasei v'yisadar v'yisadar v'salah shmed yikucha v'rechu v'el mikol v'chasav v'shir taj v'chazah v'nechmasa dam rabbi yamad v'yimru amen Israel, V'Aravan, V'Al-Samidei, V'Al-Kol Samidei, Samidei, V'Al-Kol Man, V'Askim, V'Rasa, V'Rasa, Kisha, Adin, V'Di, B'Chol Asar, V'Yasai, Elahon, L'Chon, Shlam, V'Rav, V'Chiste, V'Rachmin, V'Chayna, V'Rithin, V'Zena, V'Richu, Korna, Min Kadam, Ovahun, V'Shmai, V'Ara, V'Yimru, Amen. Yesh Laram, Mishamai, V'Chayim, Malin, V'Kol Yisrael, Tovim, Malin, V'Kol Yisrael, V'Yimru, Amen. Osa, Shalom, V'Ramav, Hu, V'Rachman, V'Yaseh, Shalom, Malin, V'Kol Yisrael, V'Yimru, Amen.
Yeah.
at the Sudas Mitzvah. The bread is being brought out as we speak. Please wash and sit down so we can begin. Everyone, please prepare for the mitzvah of Natilas Yadayim by being quiet so you can get into the mindset. We have a lot of very special guests coming through today. People have been a major part of your year. Guys, please. Everyone who's speaking. People have been a very special part of your year. Please don't make me have to use the microphone. My voice is very weak. So if you can show me sensitivity by not making me use the microphone, that would be great. People who had a major impact on your year. But there are also a lot of people who you may not know, without whom not only would none of you be here, but none of this would be here. 50 years ago, 51 years ago, when Hakadosh Baruch Hu gave us the chesed of returning us to Yerushalayim, everything here was rubble. Everything here was destroyed. And the yeshiva came down, Rav Adari, Erev Tisha B'Av, 1957, went into one of the few buildings that are still standing, but there was no way to build the yeshiva here. At that time, a man from Toronto, from Canada, was visiting Eretz Israel. He was shown what was going on here, and he decided this is going to be his life's work, to strengthen the Torah learning in the Dati Leumi world, to strengthen the return of the Jewish people to Yerushalayim, to strengthen all of this together. And this man spent over 50 years working to build this yeshiva in so many different ways. And because he devoted his life to things that matter, HaKadosh Baruch Hu blessed him with Arichus Yomim. And today he's in his 90s. Over 100 maybe, I don't know, nobody knows how many years. And Mr. Kurt Rothschild is a man who takes advantage of every second of his life. Every second of his life. And that's why he has Arichus Yomim to do so much. And it's a great honor for us that Mr. Rothschild has made it here today, though it's not easy for him. And I want to invite him to address us for a few minutes. Thank you, Mr. Rothschild. No.
How I feel when I see you all here finishing your year with a seal and dancing in Yeshivat HaKotel with such love and friendship and Ahavat Yisrael. I remember well when in 1967, about 4 weeks after the Milchemet Sheshet HaYamim, I came to the Kotel. I lived at the time in Toronto, and I visited a small little plaza. It wasn't a plaza. It was a small little place at the Kotel, all rubble, and no habitation possible. Yeshivat HaKotel had started after the Milchemet Sheshet HaYamim, when Maurice Wall, after whom the yeshiva is named, went to the then Minister of Finance, Levi Eshkol, and said, I want to start 3 yeshivot. The one in Slonim, where I was born. I want to start Merkaz Harav, and I want to start Yeshivat HaKotel. If the government will participate and match my gift. And so it was. And it was Rav Neria, the wonderful leader of Yeshivot Bnei Akiva. Rav Neria, Rav Bina, and Rav Zuckerman, who founded this yeshiva, and then appointed Rav Hadari as Rosh Yeshiva. And I had the privilege to build the yeshiva together with my late friend and your great friend, Rabbi Yovan Adler, Zichrono Livracha. It wasn't an easy road because as we dug into this earth, we came on the legacy of old Yerushalayim, the palaces where people lived with their mikvaot and their community gatherings. And today you have a museum underneath Yeshivat HaKotel, taking people back into the old age of ancient Yerushalayim. And from those days, when 600,000 Jews lived in Israel, today it's over 5 million. And it's the center of Jewish life. Zion always was the center, but today more than ever. And you who have learned here, I hope you will go back and come for a second year. Some of you want to join the Hesder movement, the IDF, and I welcome you all. I've made Aliyah 6 years ago to live here permanently, and ever since 1967, I spent Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur at Yeshivat HaKotel, and its unimaginable grandeur of these holy days. You will be going back, and you've taken Avira de Eretz Yisrael, Limud Torah of Eretz Yisrael, and Havotzas Torah, and you planted in those communities where you live, and you'll be going to the American equivalent to Yeshivat HaKotel, the wonderful Yeshiva University who brings Yiddishkeit to all over America. I wish you well, and I wish you that you've gone back with a strong love for Israel, for Ahavat Yisrael, Eretz Yisrael, and Am Yisrael. All the best to all of you.
Baruch Hu should reward you with very long and meaningful lives. We'd like to call upon Aaron Lipser to begin the program.
Rav Milton, well-spoken Englishmen, English Rebbeim, are very hard to come across in this yeshiva. So that's what I'm grateful for. I'm grateful for you every Sunday at 3:30, always punctual, giving us incredible insights on the parasha. So whenever I'm at Shabbat lunch for anyone, and they say, "Nu, Arwan, you're in yeshiva, you must have a Dvar Torah," I always come prepared, thanks to you. And I just like to thank you for always reminding me where my roots are. London. Whether it's a joke about the red, or more specifically Edgware, as we're both from. a joke about the weather or the football team or lack thereof, it never goes amiss in your shirim. And I'm grateful for all that nostalgia and those insights. So thank you very much, and I'm ready to say.
Along with me. I know what it's like to be responsible for a program, and I'm sure Millstone does not have a lot of free time, and the fact that he spends some of it with us is a great privilege and pleasure. And I thank Rabbi very much for Millstone, and I encourage those coming back next year, make sure to take full advantage of Millstone. Tremendous call from our yeshiva. Thank you very much.
There are three burdens in buying a chavrusa gift for someone. The first one is maybe the hardest, picking something out. The second one is finding a way to get to Mei Sharim, or having someone respond to you in the chat, and picking it out. And the third one is obviously paying for it. So when Rivtarian asked me to speak to Shlomo and present him this gift, I jumped on it right away. Shlomo, you're the perfect example of something that every one of us here, Shana Aleph, at least is or should be trying to be and striving for. You're serious about life and learning. You're a true Masmid. You're selfless. You're always wanting to help out. You're always the first one to answer all the calls for help in the mass list. Your respect and for Das Torah and for Rabbeim is also something that we should all be trying to emulate. And you do this all while still managing to keep your fun and relatable personality. So on behalf of the Chevra, thank you so much for enhancing all of our years. The growth in this room wouldn't be the same without you here this year.
We all owe a tremendous amount to Kobe. Not only for all the things he did for us at communal level, setting up events, taking us to doctors, programming, you name it, but how he took care of us individually. It was the schmoozes, the jokes, and just chilling with the guys that we will take with us for the rest of our lives. Kobe, your ability to get everyone pumped up for an event or a speaker is crazy. You amazingly balance being an older madrich, yet at the same time you're one of the boys. 1 second you'd be telling us a deep fart from the Eish Kodesh, and the next, you'd be belting out a song from the greatest showman with the same fervor. You were with us in our most vulnerable moments in Poland, but when we got on the bus, you brought us back with some sweet Caroline. You are a role model for someone who strives to be a Talmud Chacham and a Ben Torah without sacrificing what makes you, you. Your love of Halacha, Gemara, Tanakh, Musar, and Chasidus teaches us that Ben Torah should strive to be a multifaceted person who can incorporate all parts of Torah into one's life. The way you deliver Torah with passion and excitement will surely serve you as an educator in the future. On behalf of Shana Aleph, I wanted to say thank you, and we can't wait to see what you accomplish in the future.
To paraphrase the famous saying of Eitan Phillips, I can't remember the exact quote, behind the cynicism, sarcasm, and multitude of dark and evil jokes from Uzi Hill is a shmutri inside and a person who cares about every single person in this room individually in a way that nobody knows. On the first day, when I landed in Ben Gurion with Sam Fraser and Matthew Kleinman and we were stranded in the airport for the night, the first text I received was from Uzi Hill saying, "How are you? Have you got somewhere to stay for night? And do you need food?" And since then, he's always cared about everybody individually. Both on the British front, with our Efrat Shabbaton, when everyone else is in Poland, where Uzi and Eitan took us to Rav Kimchi's house and we bonded together as a group in a very special way. Through 2 extra Shabbatonim in Yeshiva, which Uzi masterminding all the sponsors of English suppers that I couldn't sort out, and just bringing general, while slightly dark and evil again, this British humour to us which really kept our accidents going throughout the whole year. But it's not just us that Uzi has been looking after. Uzi has been taking care of every single person in this room, both American, Canadian, British and Israeli, in a way that nobody knows. On Yom HaSmot, Uzi basically ran the Yom HaSmot barbecue on his field that we all enjoyed. He spends days driving Rav Lifshitz, Rav Heller and others to army bases in the middle of nowhere to visit a Chayalim. And just everything, like this Shabbat, like everyone saw Uzi 3 times at every single meal, standing up, telling everyone what to do, running the kitchen and running all the meals. And there's many more things that Uzi's done that I probably can't remember, but I think we just need to be very, very grateful and realise that Uzi does all of this with a huge amount of another. He doesn't get paid, he gets very little credit and he deserves a huge amount more, and we can all learn a huge amount from him. So...
Okay, we'd now like to call upon Mr. Jacob Herman. And Dr. Carl has asked that the pictures we take should be behind the podium. So after you finish speaking, the staff, everyone should stand behind the podium for the picture.
Many summers ago, I had one of my formative childhood experiences. I'm sitting there in Camp Moshe Ennis Moore, tucked into bed, ready to call at night, get a good night of sleep, and all of a sudden, boom! Jake and his boys storm in the bunk, 2 years older, blasting music and strobe lights. They say, "Surprise dance party!" Since then, I've always loved to party. In more recent years, just like this past year, I had the incredible schuss of having 2 Sadarim with Jake, one during lunch and Shmir Salach and Seder. And it's been an incredible opportunity to sit with Jake and learn with him, see the incredible focus he has in learning, the incredible clearness and sharpness, to see the incredible expanse of his learning. And I think that expanse is all felt often repeatedly throughout the year. Talking to Jake in Chassidus and topics of Machshava, topics of building oneself. And it's been more than his tus. I've spent so much time with Jake and to see all the incredible things that Jake has done for myself and others. So on behalf of everyone, on behalf of myself, thank you so much, Jake. It's many more years.
Just like this. And now let's dance. All right, we'd like to call upon Mr. Ben Rothstein.
So, Reb Asen, or to the Americans, that's Eitan Phillips. He was a British madrich. I don't know if you saw him around. He kind of spoke a lot to the Brits. So, Eitan served a dual function for me personally and for most of the British guys, in that he was a madrich both in HaKotel and on Torani. Shmorani, sorry. And he managed to, I guess, both not only function as an excellent madrich for Torani and HaKotel independently. And whenever we had Musa Seder, me, Josh, and Eitan, whenever he wasn't at Eretz, to talk to us about everything. Like, we learned Mechtav Meliyahu, and he always relates it to us and taught us how to improve ourselves. And whether it was on Torani and making sure to uphold like the values we cherish from being in HaKotel, and the values with which we have been imbued from this place, and to create an environment of Torah. But Eitan synthesized the two and told us always about how to combine the worlds and to be an excellent dugma to wherever we go, whenever we go in the future of Bnei Akiva as well. And not to speak too much about Bnei Akiva because this is the Akosa presentation, but to always, wherever we take Machaneh, whether we go back to England and take part in Bnei Akiva, always take with what we learn in our Kotel and bring that and be an excellent dogma, as I said, to the people in Bnei Akiva around. And I owe a lot to Eitan, and so do I think all the British people certainly, and everyone that schmoozed with him knows how excellent the advice that he offers is, and we wanted to present you with a gift, so come up. Thank you very much for everything you've done for us.
Okay, we'd like to call upon now Josh Appel.
When you think about complete Ben Torah, two words that may come to mind are serious and passionate. And if you know Tzvi Vocal, and I think hopefully you all do, you would know that these two words are very synonymous with Tzvi. As soon as you walk into the הכתל Beis Medrash on the right side of the door, your eyes are immediately drawn all the way across to the back row, and you see Tzvi just learning with serious hasmada and commitment to Torah like I've never seen anywhere else. On the other side, Tzvi is also incredibly passionate. After signing an extra year to his army service as a sniper, which is very, very difficult to do, and he has a very cool gun too, Tzvi came back to Yeshiva, and he's older than a lot of guys, and there's not that many people from his year still here, and he still had that commitment and that passion that we all know and love. And a story I really feel encompasses Tzvi's essence and core as a person is, I don't know if many people know this, but there's a few nights that Tzvi would do shmirah in a certain other place in the old city, and it was many hours of shmirah and a long night, and Tzvi would sit there and learn. Still the next day, Tzvi was in there for morning seder learning very difficult halachos of Shabbos. And the reason I think this fully encompasses what Tzvi really is and why Tzvi is so special to me is because it shows Tzvi's commitment and passion for Torah, that after learning and the entire day and staying up almost the entire night, he's still there at 9 a.m. to be mechazik, and even earlier to have chabrusas with guys and be mechazik everyone else. And the kicker and the real reason why Tzvi is even more special is that no one even knew about it except probably me. Because Tzvi is just so humble and so caring, and he's always there. And if you really got to know him, I'm sure Tzvi has influenced you, and he's made your year a million times better. And I know that I wouldn't be who I am without Tzvi. So on behalf of all of Sean Olive and myself especially, I'd like to present Tzvi with this.
Should have the list on their phone of the order, so you can just come up. You don't have to be invited up. So from now on, just come up as soon as the picture's taken. We'd like to invite now Moshe Wasserman. Who missed Moshe Wasserman over Shabbos?
Sean, I just want to start by saying, like, it's incredible how much Torah. It's incredible how much Torah you know. It's really just incredible, comprehensive. Even though you don't like Achronim, just the Builder Rishon is just like so much Torah that you know. But it's not just how much Torah you know. It's the fact that you can put so many sources together into such a coherent chavura every Thursday night. Sometimes you post in our WhatsApp group all the sources, and I think you're just trying to give Schmidt a hard time to find all the different books, but then somehow every week you use every single source that's there. It's really amazing. And week after week, without fail, the chavura is just amazing. And I can tell you personally, I look forward to Thursday night every single week, because I know it's Shammai's chavura and Ugo's thing, or whatever we decide on in the future. And on behalf of Beis Shammai, I want to thank you for a year filled with Thursday nights of Torah and Ugo's thing. And I want to present you with a gift that I left by my seat from all of us.
It's too out here, I can't do the bow tie anymore. AZ thou. Or thou. You know, either works, I guess. I would say that AZ and I have a very interesting relationship. We definitely toe the line between a friend or foe a lot. But I guess that saying is very true, you know, keep your friends close and keep your enemies closer. You know, AZ, I'm kidding. I don't even know where you are. I don't know where I'm looking. Oh, over there. Great. But all kidding aside, AZ and I have a great relationship. Even though we've had some rough times in the mass list, we've become a lot stronger through that, obviously. And there's many different characteristics that make AZ so great. But one of them is obviously how giving AZ really is. I mean, whether it be like on a group level, when Eli Sohn had to step down, or I don't know what happened to him, AZ filled in very quickly, and he really took his job very seriously, and he made the yeshiva run. And not only that, on a personal level as well. I know that when I was driving back from the Gius, I was chilling with AZ the whole time. We were schmoozing with him. And even like during Yom Yerushalayim, he opened up his office for everyone to eat in his office, which was really nice. But on an even more personal level, I remember the first week of yeshiva when I walked in, and there were a lot of older guys in yeshiva, and they knew me as Leib's brother. I looked kind of similar to Leib, so they're like, oh, Leib's brother. And I remember the first time I met AZ, I walked over to him, and when I walked over to over to AZ, and he said very clearly that you're not Leib, you're your own person. And I think from that point and onward, I really had a chance to grow on my own level, and not live in my brother's shadow, but to have a chance to be my own person. So with that being said, I'd like to give this sefer to AZ.
Some thanks to the people who were just up here. You know, we heard about Beis Shammai, Yeshivat HaKotel. Those who've been here long enough understand that in Yeshivat HaKotel, Tzimos Mashiach, we pass like Beis Shammai. And, you know, Shammai adds a tremendous amount to people, to many, many people in Yeshiva. And it's beautiful to see how, through the years, there are people here who are in their third year, in their fourth year, in their fifth year, and owe a tremendous amount to Shammai, and we greatly appreciate it. Millstone, who left, we spoke about earlier. We moved some speakers up into the Madrichim category because they can only be here for a short while. But really this round was a thank you to the Madrichim. And a few people have told me in the last few days, told other staff members, how the Madrichim are the greatest part of Yeshivat HaKotel and tremendously underrated. I don't know how to overstate that because how true it is. The Madrichim give you a perspective on life that isn't as far as some of the other staff from your own. And I know how much so many of you gain from them, and I know how much it helps Madrichim grow in their own right, as leaders. And so many great people went through as madrichim in Hakotel and what they went on to. So I want to give all of you a bracha. You should be a madrich one day, and then a meishiv and Mitzvah Hashem as you go through stage after stage. And so I want to give a great appreciation to madrichim for what they gave, and in addition to the stuff that goes on behind the scenes that people don't know about. Making things happen is not simple. And they happen because of a lot of blood, sweat, and tears that Baruch Hashem most of you aren't aware of most of the time. Specifically, I want to thank Misha Omer Barosham, Ezi. Eli's own got a job in business that he went to. He remains on the managing director team of the yeshiva. Yeshiva often, I don't know if you saw the pictures of people sitting in his chair where no one shall stand. That's why they were all sitting. And I don't know if you saw that. Baruch Hashem, he remains involved. And we look forward to having Rav Uri take those reins. We should call to Ezi for filling in over the last months. And to talk to all the madrichim. Let's all stand up and give the madrichim a round of applause. I think on that note, the madrichim have a rebuttal that they'd like to share with you.
Now we're going to start. So no one told us much in life would be this way. Our job's a joke, we're broke, our love life's the away. We didn't know that we would still be here. Should've done YU, but instead we're here next year. We'll be there for you when you're feeling alone. We'll be there for you. Just pick up your phone. We'll be there for you. Don't just call us after 2. The hardest thing for us is no free time alone. About a meeting and another Shabbaton. You're always needing us all night and day. And even though it's hard, with a smile we'll always say that we'll be there for you. Because your mommy is so far. We'll be there for you. Especially in Hadar. We'll be there for you. Even though you're a Jew. We don't like clothes and words we're tired of. Just show some gratitude, help Shlomo spread some love. But there's just one thing that we don't get. If we're here, what would you not say Shana Bet? We'll be there for you. Just don't overuse our scroll. We'll be there for you. Or go out your night roba strolls. We'll be there for you. Because you can't speak Hebrew. We'll be there for you. But won't do your Torah new. We'll be there for you. When you want to switch up shir. We'll be there for you. When you finish us in a year. We'll be there for you. When there's vomit on the floor. We'll be there for you. Unless we go to war. We'll be there for you. Unless you go to YU. For all the help, making my life a little bit easier, and all of your lives a little bit easier. It's tremendous appreciation for the madrichim. We look forward to having Shlomo and Kobe on staff next year. We wish Eitan Hatzlacha in his married life. Looking forward to continuing to have him around. We wish Uzi Hatzlacha in university. We look forward to having him around. We wish Tzvi, where'd he go? Hatzlacha. And we look forward to having him around. And may we continue to share nachat with each other as each of you build your families. And Jake, I don't know if he's still in the room. Thank you to Jake for his contribution through leadership. Each of you, in your own way. Jake, continue to Hatzlacha next year in Baka, Hebrew. We look forward to having you around. We'd now like to move on to the Meshivim. And we'd like to begin with Yehuda Feeman. Okay, Rabbi Ben.
not sure if people know this, but in Teaneck, the dry cleaning stores, they're pretty competitive. So it was a very nice experience being in Yeshiva this year, having some honest, fair dry cleaning. Thank you very much. I don't even know where to start. You've really added so much to my day-to-day life in Yeshiva, and you really influenced me in everything that you do. Just seeing you in the base, pounding away, late at night, preparing for Shir, making sure that you're going to have the answers to all our questions. Questions inside the Gemara, questions outside the Gemara. Thank you so much for that. I think everyone realized last night by Friday night dinner when Harrigan was going around with all the introducing everyone, and when he said your name, not to be mad from anyone, but I think you got like the biggest round of applause. And I was thinking about it, and I was wondering what it was. And I really think it's your Simchas HaChaim, your Avos HaChaim that you have for everyone. Whenever anyone sees you, you just get so much simcha, and it's really amazing. So thank you so much for that. There's one story that I would like to say that Ben told me many, many times, which I think just encompasses who he is. And he told me B'Shem B'Vadari would say this to him. He said that there was once a storekeeper who, at the end of the week, at the end of the month, I don't really remember, he would go through his cheshbon and see everything, take inventory of everything that he had in the store. And everything, his profits and his gains and his losses and everything. And he had this whole long list. Now he was a Chabad chassid, I forgot to mention. That's very important. And at the end of the list, he wrote down the entire cheshbon, and then underneath it, he circled and he wrote, Sach HaKol Eino Levado. And that was it. And I think that's really been that Emunah Pshuta Eino Levado, but also having deep down the Emunah from all the sophistication and the ability to answer any question. Thank you so much, man. Some people pronounce it that way. We're working my shir over the past years. Next year, Mirz Hashem is going to give his own shir. Afternoon Seder makes me very proud. And continuing his night chaburas, Shekoach Gadol to Rav Ben, contribution to the English boys. We look forward to continue working together as Rav Ben prepares to be our Rav Gadol b'Yisrael. Ben, next.
So when I first met Josh Bosboom, one thing really stood out to me. Boom. Like, I don't think I've ever met anyone in my life before my last name Boom. So already on the first day I had a good impression. But in all seriousness, anyone who's met Josh knows how nice and genuine he is. Whenever anyone talks to him, the first words that come out of his mouth is, "Hey tzaddik," and comes with a smile. That really makes you feel really great about yourself. No matter what mood you're in, if you're going to your toaster for 15 minutes, you call him over, he comes over to you with a smile. There's really no better feeling in the world. Not just that, but he really shows his care for each individual person. I don't know if many of you know this, but he's very involved in the South American program, the Israel program, and the Chizuk program. He's fluent in Portuguese, Spanish, Hebrew, English, and he really connects with every single person and really feels like they're each individual. And for me especially, I had the chus of being his kavrusa in Elazman, and just seeing his love for Torah and how he gets so into it. He's really a role model for everyone. So thank you for all that you do and really making this an amazing year.
Come up for the picture. First look at the doc. We look at Effie. We thank Effie very much for being here. The doc. Thank you, Rabbi Bashboom, for all of your contributions. Next year we'll be continuing in Yeshiva, working specifically with the South American program, but of course always available to the Americans. Just look for the guy in his sombrero. Okay, next.
Rav Bini, what is a chutz to have made a striking relationship with my most local Shalom Meshiv in the base. Sitting together by the bimah, you're always there to pat me on the back in the morning to ask me how I'm doing. You care about all the small details, whether it may be in the immaculate way you cut the watermelon at the many, many shiurim, chaburas, or English suppers you host the simcha in your home, or more philosophically, the way you approach the addendums of tefillah as exemplified by your epic tefillah b'diyan shiur.
Highly recommended, by the way. You're the Baal of the Minyan of Matmiden, and you invariably greet the Matmiden Bochurim with geschmack pancakes and freshly baked cookies. Many, many freshly baked cookies. You love to teach Nigunim, with that Yonah Matzah one being a personal favourite. An additional weekly highlight is your Parsha Chabora on Thursday nights, which also invariably ends in a post-Chabora hok that is between me and you. You love the Chat, and you love the Chiddush, bringing the Parsha of the week to life. As a klal, I'm sure we can all agree that you act as an epic Meshav in the base who approaches questions with great integrity and precision. Rabbini, we're both rabbi's sons, English rabbi's sons. One of the many pros of this false reality is an innate knack for public speaking. Yet one of the simultaneous cons of this false reality is speaking over designated time limits. Nice. So just one more thing. I feel indebted to you for making my thinking more macro, pondering Judaism and life stam as something more than just my Taladamas. You're a true asset to the yeshiva, and here's just a smaller token of my appreciation.
Mentioned his Sholem Eshiv work, his work with the English boys, and his hosting in his home. Tara isn't here, but we thank her in absentia for all that she's done throughout the year. We look forward to continue working with Rabbini as we grow. He helps you grow, and he himself grows. We enter Shem into the Rav that he intends to be a Rav of Yisrael. Next.
Anyone hear me without the mic? Yeah? No? Better? Join? Alright, so I think one of Josh Lehman's best qualities is his ability to really connect with people. I've had this plus having a lot of schmoozes with Josh over the year, usually while distracting him from doing his homework. And his answers and advice are always so caring, so genuine, so honest. He's one of those people that just always knows the right thing to say. As many of you know, I quit Yam Liam after a day. It's shocking, I know. And after a long bus ride, I was feeling a little disappointed in myself, a little sad that I quit. And one of the first people I saw when I got back to Yeshiva was Josh. So we started talking, schmoozing a little, catching up, and I told Josh I quit Yam Liam. And Josh looked at me and he said, "Adam, you're such a girl." And then he walked away. But on a more serious note, Josh, your dedication and passion for Talmud Torah is really something that inspired me throughout the whole year. We all know Josh is in school and he's juggling work and tests, and yet he's always there at morning seder, on time every morning, ready to do Chazara, ready to answer questions, ready to talk to guys. And it's really something that inspired me and motivated me to work harder and prioritize Torah in my life no matter where I go. So on behalf of everyone, Josh, I just wanted to thank you for everything you've done this year for all of us, and present you with a Sefer.
Josh Lehman has been a tremendous part of the yeshiva for 5 years. We thank him for his work last year as a madrich, this year as a meshiv. We look forward to having him in our Mechanchim program and his continue growing. I should have mentioned some of the others, Kobe, Shlomo, the others in the Mechanchim program, continue growing into the Rav and the theater he's going to be in here to Hashem. Thank you, Josh.
Testing, okay. Harav Lior. Oftentimes in yeshiva we look at people and we say, is this person shtick or stark? Rav Lior really owns the philosophy of Eshel Kaim Shneim. I really could have gotten up here and just said a lot of funny jokes because I'm a pretty funny guy, but I decided that Rav Lior deserves something much more than that, because the Torah that Rav Lior has given to me and all of us is really tremendous.
every single day from the beginning of the year when I was Nerf Color Shear, Rav Lior, just working out the Rishon, working out the Tosfos, working out the Gemara with us, was really an integral part of my growth in terms of my eating skills and my overall reading skills. Every single Thursday night, I look forward to Geshmat Tzvas Emeshir, whether it was on Shor Negiah or Zionism or anything of the sorts. And although I wasn't in Rav Lior's morning Seder Shir necessarily, some of the best Torah that I have and some of the best Torah that I've learned all year is from Rav Lior. Specifically the one right before Pesach. He knows how fond of that I am. And also the one talking about the fire Yankees lineup and how the consistency from 1 through 9 is so crucial. So I really think that what Rav Tarragon says when he says that Rav Lior is the ideal HaKotel guy, because he came into HaKotel and he didn't change who he was, he just grew into a better version of Rav Lior. I think we should all just aspire to be Rav Lior, because he's a tremendous role model, a tremendous Talmid Chacham, and knows when to be serious and when to also have a really good time. And he knows how to combine the two as well. So on behalf of all Shana Aleph, Moreinu Rabbeinu, our Rav Lior Raps, Hagel and Shlita, I'd like to present this gift.
Special thanks to Rav Lior, who, like some of the others we mentioned, has been on staff for a few years. And really this year was the linchpin of the Shabbat staff. In addition to working with Shana Aleph guys, next year he's going to be fully focused on the Shabbat guys. And it's really a great opportunity for guys who were here this year and got to know Rav Lior to be able to continue connecting with him next year as Shabbat. And as Yoni intimated to, part of Rav Lior's strength is that he's someone you can talk to about anything. And he'll make you see it in a new light, see yourself in a new light, with a humorous light, with a lively light. And I recommend that everyone should take advantage of all staff members that didn't have a chance to take advantage of this year, but particularly because Rav Lior is working with Shabbat, make sure to take full advantage. You should call for Rav Lior. Also in the Mechanchim program, and becoming great Rav here to Shem will be.
The two greatest surprises that happened to me in Yeshivat HaKotel are as follows. The first, after the Rosh Yeshiva's Yom HaAtzmiut Sicha, Rav Tarragon walked over to a bunch of guys and myself and said, the Rosh Yeshiva's a Tzioni, who knew? The second, we're dancing at Sammy's wedding, regular, amazing, Levitic dancing, and next thing I know, I look on the stage and Sammy's just shredding out on a red electric guitar, out of nowhere. So obviously there's the Jake Kupferberg and Jake Herman party animal side of Sammy that we know, but there's also a more soft-spoken side of Sammy, which really I think comes out in Baby Drush. So, we've all had a tremendous success to have Sammy as our Shalom Meshev, Shoel Meshev, I still don't know how to properly pronounce it, for this year. Sammy's dedication to Torah is absolutely incredible. He's kona everything that he learns. Every morning, for most of the week, I sit next to Sammy and Tzvi learning Masechet Shabbos, and I just glance over at Sammy's notebook, and I know Eitan Aryeh has great notes, but imagine even better notes if that's possible. So, I think Sammy really puts in a tremendous amount of hard work and dedication to make sure that everything that we're learning and whichever is Masechta that we're doing, we're really kona. Jonathan and I often ask Sammy questions, and Sammy's always makes sure to go out of his way to make sure he gets it to be as precise as possible. I remember there was a time where Jonathan and I asked Sammy a question at 4:30, and then around 6:05, Sammy comes back and says, about your question. So I looked at Haller and I said, I don't even remember what question we asked him. But Sammy spent like an hour in the Masifta looking at a Biurei Rashi, a Biurei Tosfot, even though it was afternoon Seder, it's still Mutzer. So really, and obviously in addition to the tremendous Torah that Sammy's given us, his midos and the way that he carries himself is definitely something that we should and all can learn from. So thank you so much, Sammy. I hope you enjoy this gift.
this year, but Amir Tashem, as I mentioned, continuing on staff next year, moving into the building. Amir Tashem will be able to host you, and we look forward to him and Batya becoming a big part of the Yeshiva family. Yeshiva.